It's time for Baby and Toddler Instructions with host Blythe Lipman. Blythe is a nationally renowned infant and toddler expert who has over 30 years' experience helping moms and dads regain their sanity, teaching them how to survive, and giving them the confidence they need to be the best parents ever. From sleeping to crying to potty training to choosing a preschool and so much more. If you're a parent, Baby and Toddler Instructions is the show you've been looking for. Now here's your host, Blythe Lipman.
Well, good morning, afternoon, evening. Thanks so much for tuning into Baby and Toddler Instructions this last day to get your taxes in. Happy tax day. I know all the CPAs will be jumping up and down. At the end of the day, maybe having some wine, whatever, they'll be happy because it's April 15th today, and that sometimes is a little nerve-wracking. But enough about that. I am so excited about today's guest. Sari Powazek from Toys and Playtime Oasis will be with us in just a bit. Because, you know, summer will be here before we know it. And there's nothing worse than hearing your toddler whine, "Mommy, I'm bored." Well, I have to tell you, Sari is great. She's been on the show before. She has this wonderful shop, and you can go online. But Sari is so brilliant because she is going to share how to entertain your kids when they're bored. And it doesn't have to be something expensive with batteries. Sari loves things that don't use batteries. And yes, there still are a lot of them, and it doesn't have to be a video game. Anyway, but first, I am coming to you from sunny Arizona. And our weather this April is wonderful. We're getting tons of winds. And I was just listening to the weather. And a lot of you in Texas have so much rain again. I'm so sorry. I want to wish everyone beautiful weather. And I hope when the sunshine does come out, you just get your little ones outside. You know, spring's a wonderful time to see all the beautiful flowers growing, and your toddler can smell them, touch them. Just be careful there aren't bees, and you can talk about all the different colors. These are true teaching moments that don't cost a penny. Get you outside. It's so much fun. And also, if you have a little baby, you know, that's too little to do that, just get out in the air. It's great for both of you. It will make you feel better. I know there's dishes. I know there's laundry. I know there's all kinds of stuff. But you know what? 15 minutes outside will make you feel better. You know that old wives' tale, if you get the baby out in the air, it will make them sleep better. I don't know if that's true or not. I think every baby's different. But it will make you feel better. Also, if it's raining and it's not freezing, I know my kids used to love this. Put their raincoats on, put their boots on, let them go jump in the puddles. There's nothing better than doing that. And you are creating some wonderful memories because I can guarantee you they're going to say, "Remember when you let us go out in the rain?" So, and in the summer, if you get a summer rain, that was always fun because you could put them in their bathing suits and take them outside and let them play in the water. Kids love to play in water, even in the house. Put them in the tub. Get a Tupperware, put some water in there, and don't fill the tub up. Let them just mix with spoons. Anyway, enough of that. Recalls. If you go to mybestparentingadvice.com, the recalls are up to date. There was one recall this week. It was the children's pajamas recalled by Smooth Industries. Again, it was a violation of the flammability standard. I really thought they fixed this years ago. Anyway, it's Children's Pajamas by Smooth Industries, and it is on my website, mybestparentingadvice.com, as is everything else. And I'm sorry to be the broken record, but, you know, lots of us are lucky to get these wonderful hand-me-downs, cribs, you know, bouncy seats, swings. Make sure you check that they're not on the recall list. And if they are, please, please call the companies. Do not try to fix these things yourself. You know, it's dangerous. Things can break. God forbid your baby or toddler falls. Also, make sure to check all your equipment once a week and make sure all those screws are screwed in tight and there's not anything hanging off that, you know, can hurt the baby, like a piece of plastic from the swing. Anyway, so there was only one recall. A couple of things I wanted to share with you today before I welcome Sari. First of all, there was an interesting article in Science Daily. This was pretty amazing, and there's a picture of a baby. Well, actually, a picture of a fetus. Can a fetus sense mother's psychological state? As a fetus grows, it's constantly getting messages from its mother, not just hearing the heartbeat and whatever music she might play to her belly, but a fetus also gets signals through the placenta. And a new study, which was published in Psychological Science, A journal of the Association for Psychological Science finds that this includes signals about the mother's mental state. If the mother is depressed, that affects how the baby develops after it's born. This was pretty cool. But also, it's a heads up for parents. For moms-to-be. In recent decades, researchers found that the environment the fetus is growing up in the mother's womb is important. Obviously there's effects from smoking, drinking, that kind of stuff that can be devastating. But the subtler ones, studies found that people who were born during the Dutch famine of 1944, most of whom had starving mothers, were likely to have health problems like obesity and diabetes later. And that was just, that was because of psychological issues too. They also found something really interesting. What mattered to babies was if the environment was consistent before and after birth. That is, the babies who did the best were those who either had mothers who were healthy before and after birth. But the mothers who were depressed before birth and stayed depressed after birth, they also did better. What slowed down the baby's development was the changing conditions. If the mother was healthy before and then was depressed after, it really hurt the baby's development. So what this study basically said is if you are a mom-to-be and you suffer with depression, talk to your doctor about it. You know what? Because it can affect the baby, and you want to get rid of the depression before. You certainly don't want to be depressed after the baby, but there is postpartum depression, and if you do feel that, make sure to contact your doctor. Basically, it's preparing for life for you and your baby. So I thought that was pretty interesting because I didn't know that much could pass through the placenta to the baby. Also, another interesting thing it says there is no rest for the baby's brain. Infants create new knowledge while sleeping. There was another study done last year that says while infants sleep, they are reprocessing what they have learned. Researchers have discovered that babies of the age from 9 to 16 months remember the names of objects better if they have had a short nap. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that works for adults as we get older. Anyway, it says while infants sleep, they are reprocessing what they have learned. Working with the researchers at the University of Tübingen, wherever that is, scientists from the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Service, in Leipzig, have discovered that babies from 9 to 16 months remember the names of objects. After sleeping, they can transfer these names to similar and new objects. The brain thus forms general categories during sleep, converting experience into knowledge. The researcher shows the formation of the categories with rhythmic activity by looking at the brains. Anyway, I think, if you are reading books to your babies, starting at 9 months, teaching them colors, and then it's nap time, just do this little experiment. When they wake up and, after they're awake and their eyes are open, do an experiment. See if they remember what you were teaching them before the nap. Also, as you know, I love sharing tips from my books. Help My Baby Came Without Instructions, More Help, and Help My Toddler Came Without Instructions. So today, I am going to share a few tips from one of my favorite chapters. It's called A Little of This and a Little of That. It was parents sent me their tips, and I made a chapter out of it. So one tip that I really liked is if your toddler doesn't like cooked vegetables and they have their teeth and they can chew, don't do this with the baby. Offer them raw vegetables with a dip. I have to tell you, toddlers love to dip in anything, whether it's ranch dressing, even pasta sauce. And if they don't like vegetables, you can always sneak it into a soup. I had one mother say, buy vegetable juice, carrot or tomato, pour it into a blender with some ice, give it a funny name, tell your toddler it's the orange monster milkshake, but taste it. You know what? May need a little seasoning. Also, this is true. When my son was little, he hated socks. He said, that line, he was always upset because that line wasn't the right place on his foot. Well, I did this as well as another mother. I would put them on. He would cry. So buy tube socks that came up almost to the knees, and that little line didn't upset him. Also, one more tip from Help My Toddler Came Without Instructions. If your toddler goes to a preschool with sand on the playground, place a bucket outside of your door when you come in, and have him empty his shoes before he comes in the house. That's from Jennifer H. I thought that was brilliant because there's nothing worse than bringing your child home from preschool. Everybody's tired. They take their shoes off, and you take a look, and there's a big pile of sand because they took their shoe off and they dumped it on the floor. Anyway, put a little bucket. And also is great for self-esteem because a toddler can do that by his or herself. So those are just a few tips from my books. And by the way, little plug, if you need a great baby gift, toddler gift, shower gift, this time of the year, lots of babies born and they have big brothers and sisters and then everything changes. You can purchase my books from my website, mybestparentingadvice.com, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and you can also get a gift certificate for audible.com. Make great gifts. So we're going to have a break in just a few minutes, and after the break, we're going to talk all to Sari Powazek. She has a wonderful store called the Toys and Playtime Oasis. She has a master's degree in early education and believes that children learn best by exploring, and boy, do I agree. She and her husband started this business in Scottsdale in 1977, and they enjoyed watching their young customers grow up and come back to the store with their children. I know that is just great when you see that happen. This past year, they moved into a larger location, and they have this wonderful space called Playtime Oasis. It's an indoor play area geared for children 5 and under. And, she said sometimes it's more fun and harder. It's so much fun, and sometimes it's harder to know who's having more fun, the adults or the children. And I have to tell you, I will welcome Sari after the break, but I have to tell you, this Playtime Oasis is so awesome. There are miniature treadmills. There's a full little kitchen. I mean, there's places to do trains. There are so many things, and that's the truth because I used to take a little girl there, and I don't know who was having more fun, but to see these children with their smiles and just exploring and being creative, there's nothing better because that's how they learn, and that's how we all learn. So after the break, I will introduce you to Sari Powazek, and we're going to talk about how to keep your little ones entertained, especially in the summer when they're bored. You don't have to buy those big, expensive games. So here comes the music, and we will be right back. Please stay with us.
We'll be right back with more Help My Baby Came Without Instructions. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet. We'll be right back right after these. This is Uncommon Sense for Leaders, a forum for exploring leadership from the intellect, the heart, and the spirit. Whether you're a leader now or aspire to be a leader in the future, you owe it to yourself to learn about the big ideas that have shaped the careers of compelling communicators, masters of influence, and highly effective leaders. Uncommon Sense for Leaders. Tune in to hear thought-provoking ideas on every aspect of leadership. You can expect dynamic discussions with special guests, quick tips you can apply immediately for better results, and the tools you need to take you from where you are to where you want to be as a leader. Are you ready to crack the code for achieving unprecedented results? Then join the host for Uncommon Sense for Leaders, Catherine Carlisi, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the All Business Radio Network. This is the TogiNet Radio Network, radio with a cutting edge.
Are you ready to start rocking that woo-hoo that only you do? Because Lisa Stedman is on a mission. She will dare you, challenge you, enlighten you, provoke, and empower you to bring out that inner woo-hoo. Lisa is an internationally acclaimed best-selling author. She is a breakup expert, a brand consultant, CEO of Woohoo Inc. and the Woohoo Radio Network. She will show you how to take your boo-hoo and turn it into woo-hoo woohoo, get rebellious, and get real. Get your dreams off the back burner. Get inspired and motivated to take action. Start rocking that woohoo that only you do in love, life, and business. She is going to be here for you every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Only here on the Woohoo Radio Network.
Welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet, the hour for all moms with little ones to come for great advice, encouragement, and great ideas for all new parents. Now, back to the show with Blythe Lipman.
Well, welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions. I'm so happy you could tune in. If you are listening to a podcast, you can always contact me via my website, mybestparentingadvice.com, through the contact form if you have a question. But if you are listening live, you can call us at 877-864-4869. If you have comments, questions, love callers. Anyway, I want to welcome my wonderful guest, Sari Powazek from the Toys and Playtime Oasis. Sari, thank you so much for being with us today. I can't wait to talk to you because that I'm bored business from the kids is really tough, especially with the summer coming.
Well, you know, there's the old adage, if they're bored, give them something to do, like a job. You'll be amazed
right.
how quickly they find something fun to do. And by the way, one thing that I used to give my kids, who fortunately my daughter loved veggies, but frozen peas and frozen corn. And she's doing that with her toddlers right now. Well, they're almost 5, and they don't like vegetables either. And so she gives them pea popsicles, and they eat them.
So
just frozen
they eat
peas
them
and frozen corn.
So one at a time. So they like the crunch better than chips.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Plus, if it's hot out, it's really cool.
Oh, I love
it cools
that.
them down. Much better than giving them a popsicle.
I'm going to share that. That's great. Frozen peas and corn. I never thought of that. Wow. Okay, so tell my listeners, how did you end up opening a store and have such a wonderful business? Did you ever think you'd be doing this in your life?
Yes. It's something that I had always wanted. And when my husband resigned his position, we thought, okay, let's go into business for ourselves. We had just adopted our son, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And we thought, you know, what a great way for me to be involved, but yet still have the flexibility of being a stay-at-home mom. So we started with 600 square feet as a truly collectible doll and dollhouse miniature store. And we've grown over the years. We've made some great moves. We've made some silly moves. But that's all part of the learning curve. But the best decision we ever made was to move and to open up Playtime Oasis. We are having a blast.
And it's great. I mean, it is so great. Where are you going to find all these miniature things? And just to watch the kids be so creative and be in a safe space. And you don't have to say, no, don't touch that. And no, that's too high. And no, we can't do that. No no's at Playtime Oasis.
No, we keep that out. We try and keep that as allergy-free as possible. We use green disinfectants. We do not allow food in there. We do not allow drink in there unless it's a private birthday party. So it keeps it very safe. We have a lot of germaphobes that say this is the only place they will bring their toddler.
Wow. Well, tell my listeners, you know, if you live in Arizona, especially Scottsdale area, or any place around Arizona, it is worth the drive to bring your little one to Playtime Oasis. But tell my listeners a little more about what's in there. I mean, I always talk about the treadmill or the little miniature exercise equipment, and it just cracks me up.
Well, we have magnetic toys, Smart Max magnetos. We have wooden blocks, a girl castle, a boy castle, a farm, you know, with a barn, the train table, things to climb on. We're not the major climbers. We're things that it's okay to let your 1-year-old climb up on the slide and slide down. We have this huge inner tube with poles. I love it. We just put it in a few weeks ago. And the kids constantly are on it jumping. And it's so safe. Everything we have is safe. Everything is tethered. We had Arizona child proofers come in. So everything is tethered. All the electrical caps are covered. We have a acoustical wall. We have comfortable couches to sit in. Our whole goal was to have the parents feel comfortable interacting with the child, or if they need to crash, sitting on the couch and watching their child have a good time in a very safe environment. They cannot escape. We have a back door that's child-proofed. We have a front door that has to be unlocked, but there's a child-proof gate in front of it, so the kids cannot get out. And it is very, very safe. You can cook in the kitchen. You can barbecue. You can go to the store to purchase things. We have simple ride-on toys, simple bouncy toys. I mean, I could go on and on. We have a lot of moms that come here with moms groups or just with their friends because you cannot relax when you're at the park. Besides that, soon it's going to be too hot to go to the park.
No, you can't. The slides get hot, and you know what? And then the big kids come, and they run over the little kids.
Oh, we have no big kids. It is geared for 5 and under, but actually, in most cases, you're going to see 10 months to 3 years, 4 years. You don't usually see the bigger kids in there. So that's something that the parents do not have to worry about getting run over by the big kids.
No, you know what? I always remember when I used to take little ones to the park, there would be these big kids, and of course they'd come without their parents, and you would say, please, be careful, and, they were doing their own thing, too. So
and they don't mean to hurt the little kids.
No,
it's
of
just
course
that
not.
They're having a good time, and they're running and jumping.
Also, I need to say something because you said they can cook and barbecue, but this is make-believe cook and barbecue. You're not going to have the 10-month-old making steaks.
No, but it's amazing when you listen to their tea parties. You know the moms that love to cook. You know the dads that love to cook. I mean, it's fabulous to just sit and watch your child do imaginative, creative play and listen to what they're talking about. I could probably tell some family secrets.
That's pretty funny. Like when you go to the hairdresser, shh, don't say anything.
Exactly.
That's always been the old joke. I have a question because I remember, many times I've worked in the infant room and I've worked in the 2-year-old room. Do you find when you're watching the children playing that the little girls have more of a plan than the little boys, and the little boys like to jump more and run more, and like the little girls will say, you be the mommy and you be the daddy and I'm going to give you breakfast, and the little boys are just having they don't have a plan. They're just going for whatever feels right. Do you find that?
Exactly. Yes. But that's a gender thing. And, we say that we don't teach our kids. We don't teach our kids. We show our kids by example, hopefully. And it's very interesting, though, genes play a huge factor in how children react and what they like to play with. You can show a ball to a boy, and you can show them a doll. And innately, they're going to pick the ball. And then the one child that does pick the doll, the dad will look, and I say, do you nurture your child? Do you hug your child? Do you play with your child? Do you cook? Do you clean? Do you help mom? Oh, yeah, I do all that. Well, all he's doing is emulating you. So it's really interesting that you really see a lot of family dynamics, and you really can see how the children feel and react just by watching how they play.
Sari, maybe a book is in the works for you in your future. That would make a great book.
Oh, probably not.
Well, you can just come on the show and talk about it because it really is interesting. They're so different, and you do see, and when they grow up, you have a grown child, you'll see they'll do things. They said, I'm never going to be like you, Mom. I'm never going to do that, and they do exactly what you did, and it's really, you're so full of pride going, I used to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because I watch my daughter now, having twins. She's certainly not her mother's daughter. I seem organized in the store, but I am not organized. She is so unbelievably organized. And then she says, Mom, I had two to take care of at the same time. And people say, well, how did you do it? She says, I know no different. And when you have twins, you do have to be organized. You do have to do things. But in other instances, I see so many things that I have done that she is carrying forward. She is making her children earn money. She is teaching her children responsibility. She is letting her children think. She is questioning them instead of giving them, edicts. It's like No, well, Mom, I want to. Okay, why do you want to? Tell me why it's important to you. And she will say, you know what? Okay, you're right. And that's so important for a child to learn, that a parent can say something and then say, you know what? Maybe I made a mistake. You're right. This is a good thing for you to do. And it's okay. So, yeah, she's doing a lot of the same things, and it is interesting to see.
It is. And you know what? It's okay to tell your children that they're right, because we're all human. And you know what? Everybody's different. And we do make mistakes. I mean, look at the pressure. You know, parents work. You have two parents working in the family. You come home from work at 4 o'clock. You pick your kids up, whatever. Everybody's tired. And sometimes you don't take that breath and say, okay, you just react. And then after the fact, your child catches you. You know, that's the funny thing. Your child's watching you all the time. And that's how they learn, as you said. And if you make a mistake, they will be the first one to either have you make the same mistake 10 times because they've got you, or they're going to call you on it. And you'll hear, well, you let me do that yesterday. So you have to just kind of take the breath and do what works. But being organized, you know what? We can only be as organized as we can. With one baby, it's certainly a little easier. But with families that work, you know, being organized is important. My daughter is going to have a baby, as everybody will get so tired of hearing this, is going to have a baby any day, any week now. And I spent the weekend with her, just mother-daughter. It was fabulous. And it's funny because I organized so many things in her house because she's had a really rough pregnancy. And I wasn't cleaning, I was organizing. And I was, and she would say, well, does this work like this? And Mom, look in this drawer. What do you think? Do you think I ought to do it like this? And it was so funny because I was thinking this will hopefully make it easier, but also saying, tell me if you don't like what I'm doing, because that's the tough part, I think, that I don't know yet. You don't want to tread, you know, too tough where you're not supposed to. But on that note, we are going to have a commercial. And when we come back, I want to hear all about what you have, because there's another side of Playtime Oasis with great toys. And I want you to talk about, you know, the summer coming and what parents can do with their bored little toddlers. You have the most terrific toys and games and puzzles and no batteries. Yay!
Well, we do have a few batteries, but on the whole, you have to, especially in the under 18 months.
Right. Well, we will be right back.
Okay.
We'll be right back with more help. For help, my baby came without instructions. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet. We'll be right back right after these.
Baby love, my baby love, I need you, I need you.
If you're ready for a big change in your work, your career, your happiness, your life, it's time for the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Marla believes that with the right mindset, anything is possible. Join us as successful life coach Marla Tabaka inspires you and her clients to explore, discover, and live your dreams by developing what she calls the $1 Million Mindset. Marla will inspire you to take action on your dreams and reveal secrets to success that will help you realize your own unique power. Tune into the $1 Million Mindset for heartwarming stories with Marla Tabaka. Learn tips and tricks to building a successful business and unlock the secrets to creating a happier, more balanced life through abundant thinking and attraction power. For more information on the $1 Million Mindset, go to our website, marlatabaka.com. That's MarlaTabaka.com. It's the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
Hey, my horoscope in the Coffee News says I'm going to make a big change in my life.
Wow, I love the ads in the Coffee News. I'm trying to find Cuppy to win prizes.
Yeah, and the fun facts and trivia are killer, too.
Hey, maybe we should advertise our business in there. I hear it's very inexpensive and everybody I know reads it.
Awesome idea! Let's call 903-283-0203 or go to coffeenewstyler.com and get her done.
What's that number again?
It's 903-283-0203. coffeenewstyler.com.
Welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet, the hour for all moms with little ones to come for great advice, encouragement, and great ideas for all new parents. Now, back to the show with Blythe Lipman.
Well, welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions. I am here with my wonderful guest, Sari Powazek from the Toys and Playtime Oasis. And I want to get right into it. Summer is coming before we know it, and we are going to have some toddlers that are going to be a little bored at times and not know what to do. So, Sari, you're on, during the break, I was just looking at your website. It's beautiful. You have wonderful events coming up. You have story time. You have Make a Mother's Day card, and plus all the toys that you can order.
And we will have more events coming up shortly, but most of them are for the 3-year-olds and up.
Right.
As far as the events go, story time is for younger.
Well, great events and beautiful website, and I was looking at the bowling set. I can remember when. So let's talk about what do you do, Mommy? I'm bored. And every toy is out in the playroom.
Well, one of the first things that I would do for the younger kids is I would get a splash table, a water table that's interactive. So after the kids get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because the sun is streaming through the windows, and they have breakfast and you've played with them a little bit and snuggled and maybe even read a book, then it's still time and early enough and cool enough to go out onto the back patio, under cover, bring out some frozen veggies or a cool slushie because you've already been up for an hour. The kids have eaten. Maybe they'll want a little snack. And go outside and let them splash in the water and play with the play table. It's just a great thing to do first thing in the morning because it's still cool enough. Because after that, you're not going to want to. At 9 o'clock, you're not going to want to sit out on the patio and have a cup of coffee while your little one plays. And then when you go inside, it just depends on the age of the child. You can do some simple arts and crafts. I can remember with my grandsons, we call them research and development because they're twins and they tested a lot of things. We would do just stickers, just sticking stickers on paper. I'd peel the stickers off. They would take their little fingers, hold it, and stick it in whatever spot was appropriate for them. And they were having a blast playing with the stickers. Good for small motor control, non-messy craft. You can sit and finish your cup of coffee if you want. Another thing that I loved indoors for the toddlers is called Smart Maps. It is a magnetic toy. It's bars and balls, starting at age 1. At age 1, magnets, they're magic. Actually, magnets to me are still magic. But the bars are colors. You can do simple things like just having the child pick up the balls on the floor using the magnetic bars. And it's like magic. Oh, wow, this is cool. This is fun. Then you can go around your house and you can find things that are magnetic using the bars. Then you can sit down and you can practice colors. You can practice patterns. You can practice simple shapes. And this is all part of small motor control, using the brain, manipulating, showing the kids that things do have more than one purpose.
And I love it. I love this toy because I've been in your store and had a little girl in there playing with them. I love it because they're also the right size. They're not too little. They're not going to go in the children's mouths.
Oh, no, they're not a choke hazard.
They're just the right size for those little hands, and the colors are so bright. Again, will you tell my listeners the name of them so they can come in and buy them?
Smart Max.
Right.
Smart Max. And it's just a fabulous toy. And you can use it forever. You take a look at some of the things that the kids can build as they get older, and it's physics. It really is. You have to put it together the right way. There is a basic book in each of the boxes, and it's just fabulous. So I like toys like that. The most important thing that we need to teach our kids, especially as they get older, and I'm not putting Lego down. Lego is a fabulous toy. But you take a look, and what Lego has done is fabulous marketing. They sell these kits to create one item. The kids build the item. They don't want to build it again. So when you're teaching the child at a young age that things have multi-purpose, then they take a look at that Lego that they just built and said, okay, I built it. I'm glad I followed the directions. That's great. I'm really excited for it. I'm going to take it apart and build something else, see what else I can create. And that's what you want to do. You want to teach the children that there's so many different ways to do things. That's why a lot of the toys that we have, especially for the toddler age, are multifunctional.
So
I don't like a toy that you just do one thing with.
No, you know what? I don't either. And the other interesting thing that you have to remember to do is to rotate your toys. You know what? If your toddler plays with certain toys, put them away, bring them back out in a couple of weeks, and it's like they're brand new again. And the toddler's so excited because, we're talking about being bored and about bored toddlers. They also get bored with the toys. So if you rotate them, old is new. They don't care. They love it. You don't have to go buy a new toy.
No. And especially that's why toys that are multifunctional are fabulous too. When you see a toy that says age 1, it's not just for a 1-year-old. What that means is that toy, the youngest they would recommend for the child to be 1 year old. It doesn't mean that when they're 14 months old, they've outgrown it. If it's a good toy, there's another step to it. There's another level to that toy.
Who decides the age? I mean, do they get the kids to sit down and actually play with them? Do the companies do that? Do you know?
Some companies do have toy testers. And then, for example, I'm going to Chicago. I am chair for Best Toys for Kids. And these are for the Specialty Toy Association. These are toys that top retailers, specialty retailers in the country, have seen their new toys coming out this year, or they came out fourth quarter last year, which is in time for Christmas, and they see that they have a lot of play value to it. It's not just a toy and then you toss it. It's got play value. So we, as specialty retailers, we really look for the top. We look for the toys that really have lasting play value. We want you to add to, one thing I say to people a lot is I want to add to your play value. I don't want you to have to continually replace.
No, you know what? And that one of my questions was going to be, when you go to like a trade show, how do you know what to pick? And you just answered it, play value. And do you want to buy everything when everything looks wonderful?
No. I mean, I walk past a lot of the high-tech stuff. I walk past a lot of the battery stuff. I mean, to me, yeah, it's cute to see a dog barking and flip. But excuse me, how long is the kid going to find that endearing? So those are things that I will walk by immediately. I want the toys to be manipulative, to be developmental, to have lasting play value. I call it redeeming value. If a toy does not have redeeming value, it doesn't stay here long, or it won't even come in here. And, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. That's why we have sales. I overbuy, or it just didn't work. So.
What about the popular, every season, like Frozen? Frozen goes on and on and on, and the kids like Frozen. What about when something becomes popular?
I do some of the trendy stuff because I have to, because my parents are asking for it. But again, I look for things that the children can manipulate. I do have the Frozen stick-on earrings. What value is in that? Nothing really. But I also do have a sticker fun set where they can create scenes using Frozen. And then once they create a scene, well, then you sit there and you say, gee, tell me about this story. So now you're talking about what they just created, and they're seeing that what they did has value. It's not just doing something. And, another Frozen thing we have, which really, per se, you look at it and say, well, it's just jewelry. Well, yes, it is just jewelry, but it's called best friends jewelry. So you're picking out someone that you really care about. You're sharing something that's important to you with your friend. And that sharing and being thoughtful to someone that you know, that takes time to learn. And that is something that, again, parents teach their kids by being thoughtful to their spouse, being thoughtful to the children, and sharing and doing things that are special.
You know what? And that's what it's about, because they remember. I love coming in your store. A parent can come in your store and say, okay, I need a toy for my 1-year-old or 2-year-old or whatever the age. And Sari, it's wonderful. It's like going to a class with you. You will walk around and you will show, you'll show us what you think is appropriate and why. And I know for me, I will take the thing out and start playing with it.
Mm-hmm. And another thing that my staff will do, and we will all do here, is if you really want to see it, we'll open it up for you. You know, we want you to be happy with what you get. And they will also, I mean, a lot of what I do is I talk to the parent, I talk to the grandparent, I find out what the child likes, what the child is enjoying at home playing with. And if they pick something out and they have asked me, will this be a good fit? I will tell them yes or no. I mean, I have many times I've taken someone from a $30 toy down to a $25 toy because it's more appropriate.
That's what's so great.
I hate when I do that, though.
Oh, I know, business-wise, but that's what's so great because you know what? If you don't, then they're going to bring it back. Or they're going to say, you know what, I don't like the toys at this store. Or they won't bring it back because they've already opened it and played with it, but they're not happy with it, and that's not a good thing. No, you know, it's so funny because you remind me so much of my grandfather and his shoe store. He had a shoe store for 60 years. And like I said in the beginning with your bio, you know, you see generations come in, and he did too. He ended up having grandchildren, and, you know, it was Mr. Friedman. We were going to Friedman's Shoes. That's what was the name of the store. And he had it for 60 years. And it was the same thing. My grandfather would open his shoe store on a Sunday because somebody would call and say their child outgrew their shoes and they needed to go to church. And he'd go downstairs. He lived over the store, as they did many years ago, and open the store, and he would, you know, give the child the shoes. Mm-hmm. And that reminds me of the time I got an urgent call from a dad at 10 minutes to 8. We normally, in the old store before we moved, we closed at 8. 10 minutes to 8. How late are you open? I said, oh, just till 8 o'clock. Why? What can I do for you? He says, my child finally pooped in the potty, and I promised him any brooder truck he wanted when he pooped in the potty. Gosh. I said, where are you? He goes, Fountain Hills. Well, that was a half an hour away. I said, you know what? Get in the car. I'll be here. Sari, because that was important. That's a great story, and that's what is missing so much. You know what? The one-to-one customer service, I miss that so much. Because I grew up, you know, I worked in the store, and I miss that so much. And God bless you for doing that, because that's what it's about. You know what? Parents make promises, or sometimes, they get busy. Anyway, we're going to break for commercial in just a few seconds. And when we come back, we are going to continue talking to Sari Powazek from the Toys and Playtime Oasis. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with more Help My Baby Came Without Instructions. It's Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet. We'll be right back right after these.
Are you ready to start rocking that woohoo that only you do? Because Lisa Stedman is on a mission. She will dare you, challenge you, enlighten you, provoke, and empower you to bring out that inner woohoo. Lisa is an internationally acclaimed best-selling author. She is a breakup expert, a brand consultant, CEO of Woohoo Inc. and the Woohoo Radio Network. She will show you how to take your boohoo and turn it into woohoo. Get rebellious and get real. Get your dreams off the back burner. Get inspired and motivated to take action. Start rocking that woohoo that only you do in love, life, and business. She is going to be here for you every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Only here on the Woohoo Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in every Monday night during the debut episode of Paranoia, Texas at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you will get a chance to win some very cool prizes from McDonald's, Walmart, Geek World, Red Petal Salon, and so much more. All you have to do is listen for the cue, and when you hear this music, call in. That's every Monday night at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and win those cool prizes.
The Woohoo Radio Network presents the Diva Download with Tracy and Tasha. If you think Diva is all about attitude and drama, think again. The Diva Download is the premier online radio program where girls of all ages, shapes, sizes, and colors get together to redefine what it means to be a diva so that all girls can discover their inner diva and develop a healthy sense of self-worth and self-esteem. Being a true diva means you're diverse, involved, value-driven, and active. That's today's diva. If you want to celebrate the girl in your life through education, encouragement, empowerment, and entertainment, join us every week on Tuesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and celebrate the essence of being a girl only here on the Woohoo Radio Network.
Welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions with Blythe Lipman on TogiNet, the hour for all moms with little ones to come for great advice, encouragement, and great ideas for all new parents. Now, back to the show with Blythe Lipman.
Well, welcome back to Baby and Toddler Instructions. I am talking to my wonderful guest, Sari Powazek from Toys and Playtime Oasis. And before the break, we were talking about the fact that this one-to-one customer service is so great, and you can go in the store. Sari will walk you around and show you, what she thinks is age appropriate, and after you give her a little history about your family. Also, you can call her store. You can buy these wonderful toys online. You can talk to Sari and say, I have a 2-year-old, he's pulling his hair out, what do you suggest? And don't forget to support your local stores because, you can go into the big stores and it's a little different. You don't get somebody that knows what your child's going to like, or somebody that will actually open a toy and show it to you and say, you know what, your child's going to love this, and let's look at it, let's play with it. So don't forget to support your local stores, especially Toys and Playtime Oasis. That's the name of the store again. Also, can you tell my listeners where your store is if they live here, and also how they get in touch with you online, Sari?
Sure. We are on the northwest corner of Scottsdale and Thunderbird. Most of the locals will know where AZ Airtime is. It's the same center. We're south of that. So very easy access. Great parking, et cetera, et cetera. And online, it's www.azdollhouse.com. Make sure you put in the AZ, otherwise you will not get a very pretty site.
No, that's something totally different. So I will put all that information on my computer. It's on there. On my website. Sorry, I was writing. So let's talk about travel. Your children are in the back seat and they are cranky and they are bored and you've already given them 10 snacks. What do you have for the summer for travel?
Well, it depends on the age of the child. I see nothing wrong with a DVD, but it's not something that you want to do the entire trip. There's plenty of time to talk, to sing songs, to play word games, to do I Spy. And also, we have some little, do you remember when you were a child and you had this little plastic thing with a face on it and a little magnetic wand? And
the mustache.
Little magnetic, yeah,
little
you
thing
got
with a
it.
mustache.
Woolly
I love
Willy.
that toy.
Woolly Willy. Well, we have those. Fabulous for a 3-year-old. You want to watch to make sure that they don't peel it off, but that's okay. I suggest we have these great coloring books. But they're not really coloring books. They're water books. And you have this, like a pen, you put water in it and screw it on so the water doesn't spill, and they color. And when it dries, you can color it all over again. So these are great things for the little kids. New books, again, stickers. It's hard when you're in the car because the kids are contained. You want to also travel, if possible, during a nap time. It'll give you a little bit of downtime and peace.
That's really good advice. And I love hearing about that pen because I always took those paint with water books to the restaurants with my kids, and you had to have a little cup of water and then they'd knock it over. So
you got it.
Great toy. Great. You know what? That and the magnetic thing. I'm happy they still have all these things. You know, we always go back to the tried and true. You know, I was. It works.
Yeah. What we're finding is that the parents today are actually reading the studies that are showing how detrimental it is to let your children sit in front of a TV or to let your children sit in front of a computer because their brains are not making the connections, especially fast action. If you're going to allow your child to watch a program, you want it to have especially a beginning, a middle, and an end. You want it to have continuity, not flashing. Yeah, flashing keeps the kid's attention, but it doesn't allow the brain to connect the neurons. So that's why they're seeing so much hyperactivity in the children nowadays, because before parents were reading about these studies, they thought that these programs that everybody gave scientific names to or that, sounded very educational were the way to go. Well, that's not the way to go. The way to go with your child is to play verbal rhyming games, is to play I spy something that begins with a B sound. What is the B sound?
And it's easy because the American Academy of Pediatrics says do not give your children any screen time until they're at least 2 years old.
Exactly. And talking about screen time, I mean, when you think about so many of the fabulous programs that are out there, I mean, one of the programs that I absolutely adore and I talk about constantly is the Wildcrafts on PBS. It is about two brothers that travel the world and they talk about a specific animal, and then they turn into cartoon and they have to solve a problem because there's always a slightly bad guy, and they have to solve the problem by taking on the superpowers of each animal. So you're learning about a specific animal, and then they go back to the real world again. I mean, it's a classic statement. My grandsons watch this program a lot. It's one of their favorites. They get to watch maybe one program a day, sometimes not even that. And so Sean says to me, Daddy stepped on the tail of a lizard, but it's okay because the tail came off. But don't worry, Nanny, because it will regenerate itself just like the tentacles on an octopus. And my mouth dropped open. He was just 4 years old.
Isn't that amazing? Because they're like sponges and they absorb it. And you know what? I just did I talked about the little study about naps and how babies retain, things when they have naps. I don't know if you heard. And it's true. Yes, they do retain it, and they're like sponges. I wish they taught the younger ones languages.
Well, that's when they learn them the best. I mean, we have a lot of multilingual families in here, and I love it when I hear the kids talking. And they know the difference between the two languages. They know that one is to talk to Grandma because Grandma does not speak English, and the other is to talk to their friends because they don't speak Spanish or Portuguese or whatever it is. So it's really fabulous. But studies have shown that the first 5 years of a child's life is when their brain retains, learns, and grows the most. So as much as you can pack in, the better the child is. And the way to pack it in is through fun, through play, through interaction. I know we all get tired, and that's why Playtime Oasis is so great, because when you're tired and you just want to sit, you come in, your child is still interacting with children, with different toys, and just having a blast.
And the parents always
to go
say...
back, pardon me?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, and to go back to the Wildcrafts, we are having a show here called Nature Brothers, and it is May 16th in the afternoon or May 17th in the morning. May 16th in the afternoon, May 17th in the afternoon. It is by pre-registration, and we're working on getting it up on our website where you can purchase the tickets there. But it is fabulous. We're going to have live theater. We're going to have actors. We're going to have live animals. I mean, we do this every couple of months. The live theater is fantastic because where can you take a 3-year-old and they actually get to see a play? And it's a half an hour play.
And that's perfect.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they just sit there and their mouths, they're just mesmerized. And the actors interact during the play. And the kids have a blast. But it's just great exposure to another means of entertainment.
you know what? It's all about being creative and letting those little ones do their own thing while you're keeping them safe. What a great way to end the show. I am sorry we're at the end, but I am so excited about all your events coming up. And again, I will put your information on my website. And if you want to get one of these wonderful toys, you can order them on the site. You can call Sari and talk to her, or to her, you know, the people that work for her. So Sari, thank you so much for being on my show today. Sari is going to be on TV on Friday.
Right. We're going to be on Sonoran Living.
And that's
Friday morning.
And that's Channel 15.
9 to 10.
That's Channel 15
yes.
if you live in Arizona. And Sari, you're just great. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful
You're welcome, Blythe.
rest of your day.
Too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Well, I just love Sari. What an informative show. So much fun. So many great ideas. She's terrific, and you have to visit her store. And if you don't live in Arizona, please visit her website, ArizonaAZDollhouse.com. Take a look. Next week, my guest will be Julie McCaffrey from Pish Posh Baby. I love that name. We're going to be talking about something called the boba wrap, whatever that is. Anybody know? I do. And also about a new reference guide for new parents and so much more. So mark it on your calendars for next week. That will be April 22nd, 11 o'clock Eastern on toginet.com. And don't forget to go to my Facebook pages, Baby Instructions, Best Parent Advice. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Pinterest. I'm all over. I had just put a new blog post and some of my new favorite tips about having a great play group on my website, mybestparentingadvice.com. So check that out as well. And I have experts that do weigh in. So lots of great things. And if you need a little parenting help, just ask Blythe. Call my office. I do consults, telephone, video. If you live in Arizona, I'll come to your house. The number of the office is 480-510-1453. So I'd like to leave you today with a little humor that will put a smile on your face. Preschool teachers and strippers. The only two professionals where glitter in your bra is a common occurrence. Okay, little off. Sorry about the laughter, noise, chaos, and mess, but we're learning. Isn't that true? You know what? When your kids learn, yes, they make a mess. Yes, every toy is on the floor. You know what? Their crayons, their markers are all over. Clean up your room once. You know what? It's more important that they can be creative and have fun and not worry about making a mess. You know, just make sure everything's safe. So have fun. Have fun with them. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.